Most of you are at a point in chess where they are struggling to improve and they have been stuck for months at a specific rating and they're not really seeing any improvement. And I'm here to help you because I've been there before and I have found a system that helps you sort of get out of your comfort zone and at the same time learn new stuff in order to increase your elo and get better at chess, of course. Number one, let me write it down for you. Let me get the spreadsheet. Number one, openings. So we're going to have a list of three things that you need to improve on, and first of all, it's openings. Get a good opening repertoire. It's crucial. Start with e4, start with d4. It doesn't really matter. As long as your opening is okay and you're not playing something like h4 and you're calling it a day, then you're going to be fine. Learn the Italian game, learn the Queen's Gambit, the London, the Ruy Lopez, the Scotch game, whatever. I can tell you what worked for me. So what I used to play after e4, e5. So yeah, I am, and I was a e4 player. I played either the Italian game or the Scotch. But after the Scotch, what I learned to play is the Scotch Gambit. I have a video on it, so you can have a look at that. And for black, what I used to do is I would not play e5 after e4. I would play the Caro-Kann until I got to above 2000 elo. Then I started playing the Sicilian defense, so this is what I recommend you. But of course, playing anything else that sort of is a solid opening for either black or white is going to help you. So number one, openings. Get a solid opening repertoire. And I'm not just talking about learn a few lines. No, actually have a specific opening repertoire that you completely know. So for example, in the Caro-Kann, I know how to respond against the move d4. I know how to respond against the two knights. I know how to respond against the fantasy and stuff like that. So you always need to improve on your openings. And when you play d4, with white, you need to know how to play against the Nimzo Indian. You need to how to play against the King's Indian. You need to know how to play against the Grunfeld, the Queen's Gambit declined, and every single stuff like that. So the first one is openings. Get your openings down, and as I've told you, I have a couple of videos on my channel, and I'm going to make some videos in the future that are going to help you. Number two, you're not doing enough puzzles. So number two, puzzles. Very important. Puzzles are what are going to help you get an advantage over your opponent. And I've actually pulled up an easy puzzle here for you on Lichess. And yeah, I recommend doing puzzles on Lichess. And let's just do a puzzle together. And first of all, I'm going to break down for you how you want to look for a puzzle when you're doing it, and what how to decide on what move is the best, okay? So you can pause, try to find the move for yourself. If not, I'm going to reveal what I'm looking at first. So what I'm first looking at is this knight right here, because it's my piece and it's under attack. And you can see my knight is sort of attacking the bishop, but the bishop is also protected by this. And the second thing I look at is this knight right here, because I could capture it. But capture and then capture, and you see I am down material because he's got a rook and I got a bishop. You can see it right here. And I think that it would not be good to trade like this. But I've seen another thing. When I capture, he can capture back, and after that the knight is still hanging. So this is the way you sort of take a look at a puzzle. And of course, puzzles are going to become way more difficult over time, but this is sort of a beginner puzzle to start with, just so you have a feeling for what it looks like. So I'm going to capture. He captures back and the knight is hanging. And I've also looked at whether the knight can escape or not, but you can see my dark square bishop is doing a really good job of keeping the knight there, and now I'm just going to capture. Very tricky thing now, right? It looks like a skewer, but the good thing is, and you have to have calculated that before, is this check right here. You're going to give a check, and then you are going to be able to move your bishop back, and that way it's going to be completely fine for you. Move your bishop back. Don't move it to a bad square, but you can't really do that much wrong here, simply because you can see you cannot get back ranked due to your bishop that's right here, so that's going to be completely fine. Let's do one more puzzle. And here, again, for puzzles, what you like to look at is checks, captures, and threats or attacks. So here, The first thing I'm looking at is this check right here, and I can calculate a little bit and think to myself, okay, there are a few things that I can do here, but it's quite complicated. No, it's actually not, okay? So have a look at all the pieces, and you can see my dark squared bishop and my light squared bishop are pointing towards his king, and I can look at this capture. So what does he do after I capture here? He has two moves, and after these two moves, what's going to happen is basically I have the dark square bishop too, and I can deliver checkmate. So this is how you look for puzzles, and this is how you do puzzles, and this is going to help you become better at puzzles. So do them, because these are going to be opportunities to end the game fast or get an advantage, and this is the way you improve your middle game, okay? Now, the third thing, and let me write it down, the third thing is end games. And I'm actually going to add a bonus, but that's for later, okay? So end games, what can you do? You can actually go here to learn, and you can see you have a bunch of stuff right here, which is going to help you on leeches, but you can also go to practice, and here you're going to have end games. You have pawn end games, you have rook end games, and every single other end game you can find it on leeches for free. This is not, I'm not sponsored by leeches or anything, but this is simply the website that is free and that has literally all the necessary resources. And you could also go to the study section and type here endgame, and you're going to see you have a lot of endgames, and this is where you can practice your endgames as well, right? So this is what I want you to do. Go to endgames and study them over there. Now, this is not what you need to do with the coordinates, is not something good, but here going to the practice section, you can go to endgames. And let's take a look at the pawn endgame. This is a basic endgame that I do with my students on the first few lessons, simply because, of course, the students that are beginners that are not familiar with this is called the opposition. You're going to go here in order to promote your pawn, right? You have to free up the way. So you get in front of the king, and then you go to the side. You can see I can freely push because he's not in front of the pawn. When he's facing the pawn, I do not want to push. What I want to do is to go here. And then I want to go here and push and then push. And now I'm going to have the bonus for you, okay? Opponent threats. Okay, so apparently I'm not that good at typing, but we do have the list here after all. So openings, puzzles, endgames, and opponent's threats. Why is opponent's threats that important? When you play faster time controls like Blitz or Bullet, you don't have that much time to think about what your opponent is trying to do. And what I've seen through all my students across all different elos, they've got a problem. At some point, they're too tunnel visioned and they don't focus enough on what their opponent is trying to achieve, which is a very important part of chess, right? Always try to find out what your opponent is trying to achieve. I'm sorry, my phone just got a notification. But what's basically happening is you're throwing games away because you miss your opponent's tactics. So this is where puzzles come in place as well. So puzzles are very important too, because that's going to help you as well. But always take your time to think what your opponent is trying to achieve, right? And here we can actually just take an example of here. I can already have a look at what is my opponent trying to achieve. Well, my opponent is trying to stop this pawn, and what do I need to do? Is I need to get in front of him. Okay, this is the opposition, and you always have a look at, okay, if my opponent had a free move here, where would he go? And I'm thinking, okay, he wants to go for the pawn, so I need to at least stop that square. But since this is an endgame, okay, I can already know that this isn't working because of the opposition. But going here is what's going to help you stay in front of the king. And you always need to think about, wait, what is my opponent trying to do? So if I go here, it's going to be a draw. No, it is actually not, because then you can push and he still goes out of the way and then you cannot flank him. But this is basically what you need to ask yourself, right? And that is going to help you not throw games away, and that is going to help you be better and improve more. These are, of course, just basic tips. So if you want a more in-depth analysis for why you are stuck, you can get your coaching, link in my description, of course. But these are three things that are going to help you improve at chess. Let me know in the comments below if these things helped you. And of course, have fun learning. See you next time.